Whatever happens, do not show up at my wedding numero and ruin everything. I absolutely cannot have Ivan's family know that I was raised in a poor household and have you embarrass me by mingling with them.
Are you being serious? That's got to be the worst joke you've played so far.
I'm dead serious about this. His family runs an international precious gem trading network, and they rip shoulders with the highest levels of business, fashion, and politics. Many of those bigwigs are going to be at the wedding to congratulate him, and if they find out that the bride's sister is a janitor, they might call off the wedding. So I want to avoid you messing up my chance and finally get free of this life of poverty you raised me in.
But I did the best I could to raise you and give you as normal a life as possible. I raised you like my own child. How could you say something as horrible as to deny me the opportunity to see my baby sister get married?
Quit trying to act like a parent. It's gross. You didn't give birth to me, so you have no right to hang that over my head. And you raised me? All I needed you to do was shell out cash until I found a better person to fulfill my needs. So, thanks for supporting my lifestyle up till now, but that is no longer necessary.
Do you have any idea how much work it took to scrape up the cash to put you through school? What's up with your attitude now? You were always so gracious and humble when asking for and receiving money from me to support you.
Well, it was the best way to squeeze as much cash out of you as possible. Why else would I suck up to a janitor? In order to save up enough funds to put on an extravagant wedding and honeymoon to Monaco, I had to play the good little sister in distress. Finally, I'm done with that. Do you have any idea how demeaning that was for me? I should be praised for acting in stress you made me go through?
Wait, so you really didn't need the money? All the money I sent you was for this?
I'm smart, aren't I? But even I was surprised you kept shelling out the amounts I was asking you for time and time again. Maybe I should have been an actress instead of working at this investment firm. This shows how little you know about the world, Kathy. I was making decent money at my job and didn't actually need the money you sent. But with puppy dog eyes and a meek little cry for help, you blindly push your money my way. I almost felt bad for a moment, but it all worked out as I planned. I was able to pass myself off as a young woman from a well-to-do family that was going out into the world to make her own way. Men ate up that story, and it made begging the best of them a piece of cake. You were an easy-to-open piggy bank that let me put on airs when I needed to impress potential suitors. I can't believe that's the way you thought of me all this time.
And here I thought things were tight for you because you just started working. So I did everything I could to support you.
You're so clueless. I didn't want to live with you anymore when I was in uni because you cramped my style. I just used the excuse that classes were tough and I couldn't spend extra time commuting from home or getting a part-time job. You unquestioningly sent me money. So I had an easy time cultivating a character of a well-to-do daughter that wanted to work for her bread. Everyone ate it up. And then I knew I could use this when I entered the workplace to make my life easier. So, thanks for that.
Well, I'm glad you're thankful for my support. Why don't you want me at your wedding? What do you mean you're embarrassed? This is this, and that is that.
But look on the bright side. Now, you don't have to worry about me or take care of me at all. From here on out, I can live off my husband and his wealthy family.
I know that you said you always wanted to be a housewife growing up, and now that dream is coming true. You don't need me anymore?
Yeah, the long and short of it was that I needed your money until I achieved my goal.
Now you're treating me bad because you don't need my money?
Treating you badly makes me look like the villain. What I really want is to cut ties with you forever and leave my past 6 feet under in an unmarked grave. Do you have any idea how bad it looks to have been raised by a sister who never even got a GED after her parents died? And his family ever found out about all those stains in my past, there'd be no way they'd allow this marriage to go through.
Are you sure they would hold that against you? Those are all situations dealt to us through no fault of our own.
You need to understand that if you want to get a man at that level of my Beyoncé, you need to have at least a master's degree like me. You, Kathy, never finished high school. There'd be no way that you'd be able to keep up in a conversation with him or his family. It would be uncomfortable for his family to talk down to your level, and mortifying for me to watch it unfold as you committed faux pas after faux pas.
While that may be true, both families should meet as a matter of courtesy, right? I'm sure they would understand our situation if we told them truthfully. I chose to raise you myself when I was in high school because none of our extended family stood up to take us in. I had no choice but to quit school so I could provide for the both of us.
I know all that, but that isn't my problem. You chose to do that yourself. With or without me, you would have had to work anyways, so stop trying to act like it was a huge sacrifice on your part. Quit being so condescending by acting like a mother to me and appealing to the fact that you raised me to get your way.
Now you're going too far. I really wanted to finish school and go on to college. And now the sister I raised refuses to let me attend her wedding.
In that case, get me a 5-piece Louis Vuitton travel bag set as a wedding present, and then you can come.
Is that expensive?
If you don't know, you can afford it. The set I want is about 12 grand. But I'll make do with the 9 grand set if it's from you. A sibling discount, if you will.
That much for some bags and suitcases? Why do we even need that much luggage for a trip?
See, you just don't understand how things work in the upper class. Obviously, you won't be able to afford that because I've sucked so much money out of you that I wouldn't be surprised if you end up in a poorhouse. But now, you're free from your parasitic daughter. Congratulations! You can go live your life without worry and try to relive your lost youth.
After hearing your attitude, I don't know why you'd expect me to dish out that much money for some bags.
I can't believe someone of my own flesh and blood would deny her own little sister's last itty-bitty, self-for-sure quest before getting married. I was right to not introduce you to his family. Your priorities are so messed up that they would have died from shock.
Speaking of that, you said that they were so busy that they were unable to free up enough time to meet me. So it would be fine if we just met on the day of the wedding. Don't tell me that was a lie as well.
Give her a prize, folks. She just figured it out. Of course it was a little fib on my part. As far as they know, you don't even exist. And I fully intend to live the rest of my life like you don't. That's why, if you show up, it'll throw a wrench into my plans and mess everything I planned up.
So, if you're hiding the fact that our parents died, what did you tell him and his parents?
Oh, I just hired some actors to play the part of my parents. It was perfect. They dressed perfectly for the part and said everything to make me look the part of a wealthy, socialized scioness. Isn't it amazing? You can rent anything in today's day and age. So I'm just hiring them for tomorrow's wedding as well.
I have no idea why you would go so far as to cover up your own past.
It should be obvious to anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together. He comes from a family of real wealth and prestige. Do you know how embarrassing it would be if they found out my own sister didn't even graduate high school? It would be an insult to them to introduce someone like you to them. I mean, His sister works overseas as a consultant to several major industry tops. It's painful to think we both have older sisters, but the gulf between the two is so great that they hardly seem like the same species.
Overseas, huh? Well, it's comforting to know that his family is stable and supportive. But I really think that lying to them is a bad idea. How would they ever find out?
I'll just tell them that my parents went to live overseas after we get married, so that should cover it. And for what reason would either family ever meet up again, except for a wedding? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I've thought everything out, so there's no way anything could go wrong.
Covering your tracks isn't the issue. I'm just telling you that if the truth comes out, it'll cause more trouble than just telling the truth.
I'm a smart girl. I'll figure something out if that unlikely situation comes up. Also, since I'm cutting ties with you, it's not your problem, and having you worry about me is a hassle. Hopefully, this is the last time we ever speak. So, have a good life as you can trying to stay out of poverty.
You can't really be serious about all of this. Kara? Kara.
Kathy! Long time no see. How have you been? I just flew in this afternoon and will be in town for a few days. Let's meet up.
Fiona! You're in town? What a pleasant surprise! Free-spirited as always, I see. I wanted to see you so bad.
Me too. My brother is getting married tomorrow, so I decided I should at least show up for that. Will you be free the day after tomorrow to meet up?
Congratulations! I can't believe that little crybabies are old enough to get married.
I know. The years start coming and they don't stop coming, do they? We're almost 30 ourselves. By the way, isn't your little sister not so little anymore? She must have just finished university and started working, right?
Yep. And what a coincidence. She's getting married tomorrow as well.
Congrats to you too. Aw, we're both going to be so busy tomorrow with the weddings. We can talk about it and compare notes on them afterwards.
That's what I was thinking too. But she just told me that she wants to cut ties with me completely and not to show up at her wedding tomorrow.
Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Kathy, you raised her yourself after your parents died.
It was a shock to me as well. I actually just finished talking to her. I've been in a few days until you showed up. I believe that I raised and cared for her, but she thinks all I did was pay for her to be where she is now. So I'm not necessary anymore.
Isn't that a bit messed up? Because of what happened to you guys, you had to start working in junior high, right? Even then, she should be grateful that you paid for her way through school. Now she wants to cut ties with you? That is the most selfish thing I've ever heard.
She says she's embarrassed that I never graduated high school and work as a janitor. It seems like her fiance's family is extremely well off, and I make her look bad. So she hired some actors to play the parts of her parents and planned it all out so no one would learn about me.
That is unbelievable. How low is she willing to sink? So she's basically conning her fiancé and his family?
Put that way, yeah.
My God, that's absurd. If I were in your shoes, I'd flip my lid and kick down the doors to her wedding. You have to go tomorrow and show her what's what.
She says I need to bring a 10 grand travel bag set as a gift for her if I want to make a show at her wedding.
10 grand? What the hell is she thinking?
It's what I thought as well. It's not a matter of price, so much as how wasteful of a purchase it is. Does anyone need 5 bags to travel anywhere?
Kathy, sorry, but that's not the point here. I love how you always see points differently from everyone else. But why should the woman who sacrificed half her life for her need to provide such a gift?
She even went so far as to admit that she only acted innocent and vulnerable in front of me in order to get me to send her money. Can you believe that? Thinking back on it now, just seems more and more ridiculous for me to hold any familial love for her, seeing as she was just using me.
What she's done is absolutely unacceptable. Kathy, you have to go to the wedding tomorrow and confront her. If she really wants to cut ties with you, make sure it happens face to face in front of witnesses.
I don't know. After weathering all I said, I don't know if I ever want to see her face again. Just imagining her face right now fills me with sadness, anger, nostalgia, and tons of other conflicting emotions. If things are going to end between us, I want it to end clean and know it's what she really wants. That'll be my last gift to her.
And after that, meet up with me and we'll drink our problems away for one night. If it weren't for my own brother's wedding, I'd have flown in just to give your sister a piece of my mind and the back of my hand. Sorry I can't be there for you tomorrow.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about me, and have fun with your family tomorrow.
Would you mind telling me why you're here? I told you that I didn't want to see you here.
I know, but I just wanted to see your face one last time. I know that I can't enter the hall without an invitation, so I thought that I might be able to catch you on the outside and speak with you one last time.
I told you to cut it out with this mother-birding bullcrap. You brought the bags I wanted, didn't you? If you dragged your butt out here to see me, then you at least had the good sense to bring what I wanted, right? Then just leave it at the reception desk without your name and beat it. I don't want anyone to see you and draw any unnecessary attention to how similar we look.
Of course I didn't bring in such a ridiculous gift. Why can't I see my sister for a few minutes on her wedding day?
I don't have time to deal with janitors that can't even give their own sister a small present on her wedding day. Get lost and never show your face around me again.
If that's what you really want, I'll go.
Yes, it is. I can finally be rid of your poverty aura and start my life out without any familial baggage.
I understand who you really are now and just came to say goodbye. A bit of sisterly advice is, your lie can't last forever. So come clean before it really hurts.
Yeah, whatever you say. Thank God and goodbye. Kathy, where are you now? Come back here right now. And who might you be? Quit joking around. It's me, Kara.
Oh, you. Well, I deleted a person named that a couple of minutes ago from my contacts because they wanted nothing to do with me ever again.
This is not the time for that. How can you treat your baby sister like that?
I had a sister named Kara, but she wanted more than anything to cut ties with me. So I decided to give that to her as her wedding present.
Please, I need you here right now.
I'm on my way home. What's up, stranger A?
My fiance's sister is living with me and the church isn't in an uproar. Is she really a friend of yours?
Oh, you must be talking about Fiona. Yeah, I was surprised when she called me yesterday.
What are you talking about?
Fiona and I have been best friends since junior high, and we meet up whenever she flies back into town. We talked yesterday, and she said she was in town for her brother's wedding. Who would have guessed that her brother was your fiancé? What a small world.
How can this be happening to me? This can't be happening.
Apparently, she saw you cursing at your phone, saying something about a sister and put two and two together. She caught me outside just before I got in my car and we had a chat. I told her that the sister I had raised for half my life wanted to cut ties with me, and she told me that that sister was her brother's fiancé. I thought it was a bit funny.
Why would you go around telling people private matters like that?
To think that little boy would grow up and hook up with my sister. What a crazy chain of coincidences.
That's not the point. Why did you tell her what I said to you?
She's my friend. And how was I to know that she was connected to you through her brother? I was pretty surprised when I saw her at the church, no doubt. I told her what happened and she erupted like Mount Toba. She stormed off to the church saying she'd tell her parents, and I just watched her go because there's no stopping Fiona when she gets an idea in her head. And you're just going home after all that. With a glass of champagne in my hand, yes. Things must really be heating up for you there, huh?
I locked myself in one of the basement bathrooms trying to figure out a way out of this.
Oh, did all your lies blow up in your face already? I thought you had contingency plans for everything. Or maybe use your silver tongue to lure people to your way of thinking? Those two actors you hired to play your parents must be sweating bullets now.
Oh my god, what should I do? Ivan and this whole family are pissed off and looking all over for me. I heard they want to call off the whole wedding. They're raving that I'm an untrustworthy girl and Ivan is constantly pinging my phone.
What did you expect? Look, I told you lying was a bad idea. You ignored me, and now you're reaping what you sowed. How do you like them apples?
Well, I didn't think that I'd find a way out of this way. This is all your fault. You came, even though you weren't invited, and blew my cover. Come back here and fix this mess. This never would have happened if it weren't for you. I only had the best of intentions, and you screwed up all my plans.
Quit being a Queen Karen about all this. You were going to be found out sooner rather than later. I was going to hang out with Fiona tomorrow anyhow, and it would have come to light then. One look at the pictures would have blown it all out of the water, and you'd be in the same mess you're in now. It's things like that that pulled the curtain back on the Wizard of Oz.
Please, I'm begging you to come back here and calm everyone down here. You're the only one who convinced everyone to leave me alone and get the wedding back on track. So, as my final request to you, please fix this problem.
No way, Kara! You wanted to cut ties with me, right? Well, hope you're enjoying your first day free from the tyrannical rule of your gullible sister. How could you possibly think I'd help you after you admitted to how much you took advantage of me? You cried wolf a few too many times, and now no one trusts you.
You're my sister, right? Older sisters should come to the aid of their younger sister, no matter what. Your baby sister is in dire need of your help now to get over here and save me.
I've been patient and long-suffering as your sister for long enough. I took responsibility for you when no one else would. I did the best I could to raise you to adulthood without relying on anyone else. All that time, I honestly thought you appreciated the sacrifices I made for us and worked even harder to make our lives better. You said to yourself that I should go out and enjoy my life, and I decided to start that today.
Why are you so loquacious today? I have never seen you so snarky.
That would be the champagne speaking.
You're drinking and driving?
Heck no. My driver is.
Driver? You hired a car for today?
They belong to my company.
Your company let a janitor borrow a car with a driver?
It's my company.
Wait, but you're just a janitor.
Yes, I started as a janitor when I was 15 and worked till I was asked to take over the company when I was 20. I grew the company into the largest janitorial services provider in the state and sold our in-house produced cleaning goods around the world. So I have a little leeway with money.
Then why won't you help me if you're actually rich?
Because I know how hard it is to earn money. For the longest time, I hoped you wouldn't take after the rest of the family that abandoned us. But DNA is pretty hard to beat. I'm done helping you and have no intention of helping you out of this. Goodbye! So the truth was that I'd hit it big as the CEO of a fast-growing janitorial business. The frugal part of me kept dressing in my old janitor's uniform daily and taking the bus to work every day. By the time Kara found out I wasn't as poor as she thought, it was too late to rebuild the bridges she so joyously burned behind her. Ivan and Fiona's family called off the wedding on the spot and left without looking back. Kara's dream of being a socialite housewife was shattered at that moment, and she couldn't return to the company she'd been working at because of its connections to Ivan's family. And she'd been given a grand send-off when she announced her engagement. So now she's scrambling to find a new job where she won't run across people that knew her in her old life. Her inability to feel gratitude to the person who took care of her in her most troubling time led to a life where she now has to struggle alone.